Okay, welcome to the post-game press conference for the Ole Miss Rebels. We're joined by head coach McPhee-McCuin and student-athlete Madison Scott. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach Yo, and then we'll take questions for Madison, and then we'll follow that up with questions for Coach Yo.
I thought it was a fought hard game. I thought both teams really competed for 40 minutes. I thought, you're not going to hear any crying about me about the officiating or anything like that. I thought it was a well-officiated game for the most part. I do think that something has to be done with this whole block charge thing. You know, it was unfortunate to see last tier go down. I mean, there needs to be a rule, and then people won't slide under people, and I've seen it happen twice. And if we're trying to protect players, then why don't we make the rule? Because that was dangerous. And she was trying to make a play, because right now the rule says no matter where you are on the floor, attempt to get up under someone and take a charge. And then she had to go out on a stretcher. So something has to be done with that rule. That's simple. If we're trying to protect players, let's protect players. And that's not the official's fault. It's the rule that's wrong, all right? But nevertheless, you know, we take our wins together and we take our losses together. I wish I could have a couple plays back. I would have done some things differently, but we'll rest up and go home and get ready for the tournament, NCAA tournament.
Questions for Madison? Please raise your hand. We'll bring you a mic. All right, Gabriella.
Madison, we're really locked in tonight, both ends, all 40 minutes. What about, what makes tonight different than other nights when you're, really on this new level of intensity?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're really asking. I don't know how to answer that.
Sorry. When you're this locked, what makes a night different on your different levels of intensity? What are the different factors that go into it?
She said you've been locked in lately.
Just wanting to win. Just want to do what my team needs me to do for us to be successful. And also, it's a win or go home situation. So I wanted to give my all for 40 minutes so that way we, wouldn't go home.
Over here on the right.
Madison, you guys pulled within 2 in the fourth quarter, tied it at points, but were never able to get over the hump. I guess what made it so difficult to get over that?
I just think, like Coach said, there was a lot of missed opportunities. There was a lot of plays that we were supposed to make that we didn't make down the stretch. Fourth quarter, we went cold, and, yeah, it got away from us. So, yeah, we'll go back and watch the film, and we'll be better moving forward, to get ready for the tournament.
Another one in front.
Talking about the tournament, what does this next week look like in terms of preparation for you getting ready for the tournament in Selection Sunday?
Just working on things that, we need to work on, continuing to get better, continuing to grow. We don't know who we play yet, but, that doesn't mean that we can't get better. Ole Miss can't get better. So that's going to be our focus, working on ourselves so that we can come and, be ready to go against whoever.
Any other questions for Madison? Okay, Madison, you can be dismissed back to the locker room. Now we'll take questions for Coach Yo. Gabriella.
Coach, it seemed like you were in the locker room for quite a while at the half. What was the conversation and speech for the team?
Well, first of all, we never come out early at halftime, We use that time to debrief, talk through, strategize, that kind of stuff. But my message was, I didn't understand why they didn't come out and play and execute the game plan the way I felt like it should have been executed. But luckily this time, it wasn't 50 to 30-something, and we had to claw our way back, you know what I'm saying? So I think games like this kind of rear its head when it comes to that elite level point guard. You feel it in games like this. No excuse. I mean, we have a really good record, so obviously we know how to win. I'm just talking basketball. There were moments I wish Zakiya was a little older, you know, because she would have been different. But she's not, and this is valuable minutes for her, and she's a freshman, so it will pay off in the long run, maybe in the tournament.
Over here on the right.
I know you said the first time you played LSU, you didn't think your team was maybe ready for the moment back then. Despite the outcome today, do you think your team was ready for this moment?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely came in the game wanting to win. I just thought we had a lot of missed opportunities. What I'm talking about is like, it's gonna give me heartburn, like closing out going into halftime. Shot clock violations, 10 seconds or less. You know, and the team is like, oh, Zakiya, but Zakiya is a puppy. She's a freshman. And they want her to do something that KK Deans would do. And then I didn't play Snutter, so then I don't have Toddy there. And so I vividly remember 5 possessions. We had something drawn up, and it did not go the way we had it drawn up. But at the same time, too, this was a last-minute change for me to put Zakiya in. So it's like, no blame. It's just great experience, and we are unlucky. You know, we were unlucky that we couldn't execute the way we wanted to.
We'll go first to Gabriella, then we'll go down this way.
Wanted to ask a little bit about Marquisha. Why did you originally recruit her? I know you've talked a little bit about that. And then where have you seen her grow, and what has she meant to the team? Yeah,
when Marquisha went into the portal, we had Destiny Salary on the team, who's from Arkansas. And we had just, you know, it's funny, we had just played Arkansas, and she was in the portal. And Des came up to me. She said, Coach, Quee is in the portal. We need her. And I reached out, and a lot of people told me not to take her, and, oh, she don't play a lot and that kind of stuff. But, I mean, who looks like I look like the biggest winner, you know? Quee is a talented player. I think she has a bright future ahead of her, and I've really enjoyed coaching her thus far. And the way she's grown is understanding that she needs to be intentional when she's on the floor. Tonight, I thought it was difficult. I maybe should have drove the baseline a little bit more. They really helped off of Zakiya and clogged the lane. And so she had to make a lot of really difficult shots. And so that's something, you know, as a coach, I'm going to go back and look at for when we get to the tournament.
Right here.
Did you learn anything about your team and through this process of these 2 games that you're going to apply going into Selection Sunday and the tournament?
Not really. I've learned a lot about my team since we won at Florida in overtime. You know, actually, and they have learned too. When you get in these type of settings, it's about will. You know, that's what it's about. And I thought when it really came down to coming down, I thought the national champs reared their head. For example, like Angel was relentless, Flage was relentless. And I thought those 2 really was like, you know what? We're not losing tonight. And that's experience. And so I didn't really learn much. I thought we had chances to win the game. You know, it's just unfortunate, but we will learn from the film.
Over here all the way on the right.
Chessa Boucher with WVLA in Baton Rouge. Coach, you mentioned Angel Reese there. It seemed like, especially in the fourth quarter, the object for LSU offensively was to get Angel the ball inside. What did you see from her?
I mean, Angel is player of the year. You know, I've said it publicly. I've always been a fan of the Barbie. You know, I like tough players. You know, she rolled her ankle and you couldn't tell. You know, everyone's like, oh, Angel rolled her ankle. I'm like, so what? She's playing today. And look, she went out there, and I thought they were intentional. We got in some foul trouble. I thought Rita did a great job with her, but, you know, she's so relentless and finds a way to, you know, her greatest strength is her will. You know, she missed, she goes back and gets it. She just out-wills you. And they rode her like they should. And I felt like that was the difference.
Right here in front.
One more about Marquisha. What do you want for her at this next level? You know, presumably she's going to go pro.
Yeah.
What's the best case scenario for her in her future?
I think the best case scenario for Kui would be to be with a organization that has experience, so that she could be a sponge and learn. You know, no one's bringing her in to save the day. I try to tell my players that all the time. Franchise players are already at those teams. It's not like the W has 50 teams, you know? So, like, each team already has a franchise player. What I want for Kui is to just apply all the tools and skills that we've given her. College sometimes makes you become very dependent, and that's really not the real world. And I always tell Kui, like, Kui, it's not going to be like this once the last buzzer sounds. You're not going to have someone to make sure your socks are there and, you know, you eat 3 times a day. Like, it ain't happening. So I've been talking to all of my fifth years about just growing up and learning, taking all these tools and resources that our beautiful university has given us, and now starting to apply it so the transition is not that hard when they get into the real world.
Any other questions for Coach Yo? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.